Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. It is very, very warm here for us. I know y'all Southern Americans think that 66 degrees is cold, but in fact, that is bikini weather in Canada, and so we are celebrating. We rejoice, we go in the sun, and then we run. We run from the sun. We think, this was a bad idea. So possibly I managed to get enough sun exposure where I got some vitamin D production. Possibly not. You know, we just don't know. But as a reminder, this will be a hot girl summer. And that means we have to start in May to prepare Bay. Anyways, that to be said, I'm starting by wearing workout clothes. Not working out, but I'm just wearing workout clothes. It's my first step. You know, I need to take things slow. So I worked hard on a headband today and a sort of workout look that could be appropriate should I ever want to engage in actual exercise. So, I am welcome to feedback about that. Let me know. In the meantime, we do have a case where things are a little bit unique. Hi, Not Ladylike. Nice to see you. This gentleman, he has some allegations against the mom. Mom doesn't seem very happy with him. It seems like she's crying throughout part of this hearing. Oh, Lord. It was quite a day in court today. I'll tell you, I was jumping all over. I mean, in reality, I was doing quite a bit of working out, but just my mouse finger and a little bit of typing. Anyways, without further ado, let's head over to Texas where, like I said, it seems like math is difficult, but making babies is easy. And we all sort of know that making babies is easy.
Mm-hmm.
He agrees. See, he agrees. Yeah, Adam, that's exactly the look I was going for. I was going for a post-workout look. So I think I've accomplished. Excellent. Oh, shit. Bam. Mr. Welch. Hi, Beverly. Hi, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Let's get going.
Get to it.
That's what I said, Judge. Let's get to it. Nothing to it but to do it. Don't cover your mouth like that, Mr. Welch. I'm not that terrible of a singer. I'm drinking cold Coca-Cola today because it's 66 degrees, which means it's very hot here, and we don't have AC, and we really don't even have fans. Well, we do, but they're in the basement. Damn it. Judge, what the shit?
Jessica A. Dillard.
Oh, yeah. Jessica Dillard. So apparently these guys have fought before. Oh, look at that. If you wondered if my boobs were an illusion, apparently not. They hold up a whole Coke can, sort of. There's some magic involved in that because it's pretty wobbly, but anyways, they're fighting. Summary. They're fighting.
This matter before the court on a suit for modification of child support and motion to confirm arrears. Of course, taking judicial notice of the court found no for the record that both parties are properly before the court this time. Let's see, I have lots of paperwork in this. There's a waiver of service from Mr. Seawood and
It's Judge Slow as Fuck, also known as Michael Nelson. He has a stutter, but that's not what I'm making fun of. He just does take a long time.
well, that was non-service on Mr. Seawood. That was different. That was this waiver. And I'm sorry, I was looking at all right, yes, okay, here it is. Ms. Dillard was actually served back in March of last year. All right, so both parties are proper before the court this time. Here's that Mr. Seawood waiver was filed back in October of last year. So I'll ask the state on the record to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today, which you understand agreements and contests to be at this time, and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the state understands that essentially the contested issues are the date of when the current child support and current medical support would start, and current dental support would start. Non-disclosure of address for Mr. Seawood. State understands that for the address, Mr. Seawood would like that not to be disclosed as he is concerned with harassment from Ms. Dillard. I understand Ms. Dillard is opposed to that. As for the date of when support starts, I understand Ms. Dillard would like it to be the date after Mr. Seawood was served. And it appears that he was served on, I think as you said, August 30th, 2024. So presumably the support
All right,
starting.
I saw a waiver. I saw a waiver. I didn't see a service citation. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, I think that yes, Your Honor. I may have wrote that wrong.
I thought the waiver was in October, as you said, it's in August.
October 30th, Your Honor.
Okay, so mom's requesting the start date of November 1st of last year, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
I understand that if the court does grant November 1st, 2024 start date for current child, current medical, and current dental, the state would prefer to take judgment on the arrears as of October, as of the last day of October 2024. State offers what has been marked as State's Exhibit 1 into evidence.
All right, Mr. Seawood, Miss Dillard, are you there, folks? Unmute yourselves and turn on the videos. Ken.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is State's Exhibit number 1. Is there any objection to State's 1 coming to evidence that shows what payments have been made in your case? Any objection, Ms. Dillard?
No, sir.
Mr. Seawood?
No, sir.
All right, State's 1's admitted. Anyway, I'll
Thank you, Your Honor. So the state would like judgments be taken if the court does do November 1st, would then be $24,894.18 as of October 31st, 2024 for the child support arrearage. And then for the medical support arrearage, as of that same date, $8,830.57. If not, if the court just starts it June 1st, then state would like to take judgment as of April 30th, 2025. Child support arrears at that date is $26,339.34. And then the medical support arrears is $9,361.45. State understands that Ms. Dillard, even if we go back to November 1st, would prefer the judgment to be taken at that April 30th. The state's opposed to that, Your Honor, because that'd mess up our finances. Having current support starting before we confirm arrears would mess up our system, Your Honor.
I know how it works, Mr. Welch, and I'll go ahead and, ma'am, whatever date, when I start the child support, the date I'm looking at is going back to the date of the month before, whichever date I choose, ma'am, because that's the way the record has to be done. It's an accounting thing. So, I'll let both mom and dad know that. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then the parties do agree as to the amount of health and dental. Health being through Miss Dillard's private insurance through Marketplace, I believe, $50 per month for just the child. And then dental through Miss Dillard's employment at $20 per month just for the child. And then let's see. And then the current child support, Your Honor. So the state understands that Mr. Seawood is currently making $21.30 per hour, around 40 hours per week. State bases that off of he sent us his latest Hobby Lobby pay stub. And I also have a letter from Hobby Lobby stating how much he's making. So he does understand that he at one point made much more at a place called Wilson Art. And we have pay stubs for that as well. I believe Miss Dillard would prefer to use those numbers. But the state's only asking, Your Honor, for
I'll need to know when he left Wilson Art. Again, the circumstances, the current circumstances, what the court has to look at, and so let's find out. Let's get the information when he left Wilson Art and how long has he been at Hobby Lobby, and we'll make the appropriate decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And state does understand that he without revealing his address, he does live in Oklahoma, so the state is giving him a income tax credit as well for his child support. And I believe that's it, Your Honor.
All right, then. Well, we'll do the math as far.
NPC, thank you so much. We don't have the buffer yet. As Mikey has explained to me, we need a buffer, but I appreciate the well wishes. Thank you so much. It has been a hard-fought battle. We have hovered in this 2400 range for a long time. Part of that is my fault, not making videos as much anymore, but I'm working on that. Like I said, it's going to be a hot girl summer in so many ways, including YouTube. So thank you, NPC. I appreciate that. I'm afraid I am reticent to even mention it technically because I feel like it'll bring the trolls out to unsubscribe. But I love you and thank you so much for the support. Also, you guys, I just remembered how insane this case gets. You're gonna love it. This is such a gem.
As a master, sir, you heard what the court needs. I need some dates on this one and confirm that. And then we'll get some testimony on why the father is requesting non-disclosure at this point. And also, I'll need some data on how often he's seeing the child in this matter, as far as and actually having a child with him in Oklahoma, if that's the case. All right. Anyway, let's get an update from these folks, and we'll take it from there. So at this time, Ms. Dillard, Mr. Seawood, raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both officially under oath. You can put your hands down, and let's go ahead and get some. Like I say, we'll go ahead and get the data, and I'll go ahead and start making some decisions on this one. But at this time, I'll let the state go ahead and call your first witness. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Jessica Dillard. What is your full name?
Jessica Ann Dillard,
What is the full name of the child in this case?
Brandon Jamal David Seawood.
And so how old is Brandon?
He's 16,
And when was he born?
10/7/2008.
So what kind of health insurance does Brandon Jr. have?
It's a Baylor's kind of white plan. I got it through Marketplace based off of my annual earnings. They give me a tax credit for it.
So how much does it cost you just for Brennan or just for Brenton?
$50.
And that's per month?
Yeah.
And so what about dental insurance?
It's about $20 a month for his portion.
And is that through private as well?
That's through my job.
And so do you agree to have the child be ordered to be under your private health and dental?
Yeah.
And
That's
do you
fine.
agree for Mr. Seawood to pay $50 per month for cash medical to reimburse you starting at whatever date the judge decides to start it?
Yes.
And do you agree for Mr. Seawood to pay you $20 per month for reimbursement of the dental insurance starting when judge decides to start it?
Yes.
How is Mr. Seawood employed as far as you're aware?
I have no idea.
Do you agree to Mr. Seawood having his residential address not being disclosed in the order?
I mean, I really don't care where he lives, but they have my address. I don't know what the big deal was. Because he just started saying this now, so I don't know what his problem is, but I don't care. I don't need his address. My son doesn't go to his house anyways. He never picks him up, so it's fine. I don't need his address. But if my son does go there, I would like to know where my son's.
All right, we got it, ma'am. We got it.
Mhm.
Pass the witness. Oh, you're muted, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Dillard will be back to you in just a moment. Let's go ahead and get some information from Mr. Seawood, and we'll see where this one's going. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Brandon Seawood. What is your full name?
Brandon Jamal Seawood.
And just to make sure, are you driving?
I'm in the car. I'm in the passenger seat, sir. My wife's driving.
All right. So would you be okay with being ordered to pay $50 to reimburse Ms. Dillard for the health insurance for Brandon Jr.?
I have no problem with that, sir.
And would you be okay with paying $20 to reimburse Ms. Dillard for the dental insurance for Brandon Jr.?
Absolutely.
And do you understand that that would be per month starting at whatever date the judge decides?
That's fine, sir.
So how are you currently employed?
I'm working at Hobby Lobby, operating yard dogs. That's kind of my MO.
So how much do you make there?
$21.30.
And how many hours per week do you typically work?
40 hours.
All right. So
11 p.m.
when was your last job before this?
I had side jobs like Southland Employment. I stopped working at Wilson Art. I think it was exactly October 28th. I had to move because of harassment to my landlord. Because I allowed Brandon to come see me. So
Okay, sir,
All right.
you're going beyond the question. Just listen, just answer the question that's asked. And
I had to move, but I've always
Sir, I understand you got a lot to say. I get it. And we're going to go over it. So you're saying that your last job was at Wilson Art?
that's my last main job. When I moved to Oklahoma, I immediately the next day found a job, but we got laid off a week and a half later.
Okay, so let's just be clear. He has a main job and a side job, sort of like a main chick and a side chick. Behemoth Monkey, what do you think? Ah! Well, this sort of covers my tits. That's not really acceptable. I was getting out of the way of him because his wife is here, punching him in the arm halfway through. And I wanted us to see that, but I appreciate Behemoth Monkey and 7 months of support. Thank you. But I like these. We'll have to think of something. Anyways, so he's blaming his ex-wife and the kid for making him move? Is that what I'm understanding? Also, I'm pretty sure he said he was a yard dog, but maybe Doc? But dog? I don't know. That dog don't hunt, as they would say in Texas.
So I'm always going to be working somewhere. That was South Unemployment, and I submitted those pay stubs.
All right. So let's focus on the Wilson Art one. So how much did you make at Wilson Art?
22. I don't know the exact amount. I can look at my pay stub right now. 20. It was 23.20, sir.
All right.
Left at.
And so how many hours did you work there?
I
Approximately?
worked 80 hours a week because that's how much I had to work. I was thankful. I was fortunate enough to be able to work that many so I can pay child support and still survive. But I can't.
All right, sir. All right. And so when did you start at Wilson Art and when did you leave?
I started in Wilson Art, I want to say August 2021.
And when did you leave?
I left October 28th, 2024.
Why did you leave?
Because I had to move because the landlord I had to move because it was complaints filed, falsely complaints filed. So I had to move. And it was actually after Brandon just left our house. And so I moved to Waco. Brandon came over and somehow the landlord called.
Okay. Okay, so
So I had to because false complaints.
Sir. All right, sir.
Stop. Okay, all right, we're gonna stop this line of questions, folks. I see y'all have some problems going on here, but again, I'm looking at math here. I'm not looking at why everything is the way it is. I just need to know where everything is at this point. This is an accounting thing, and I know y'all may not be trained as an accountant, but I'm a finance major, so yeah. So all I need to know is the math on this one, and whether or not the child's coming to see you at this point, so forth and so on.
I can't have him see me because every time he comes see me, which is
Okay.
Your Honor, because while we're in court, my son, I used to love my son to come see me, but every time he would leave, his mom would obviously have my address, and then the landlord's call, so it's not a coincidence. So now I'm in a position where I can't even see my son because
Okay, sir. And so she says she doesn't need her address at this point, but again, I'll figure out if I'm going to do that, and obviously I'm not changing the visitation order. Okay, that's not before the court at this point. Whatever visitation order you have that's going to be your visitation order at the end of the day. Because the only modification I'm looking at is the child support. So if you want to see your child, that's left up to you. But I will make a decision on the non-disclosure. All right.
He always has to babysit. So I would like to know my order because if she denies my visitation, I will file for consent or contempt.
There you go. That's your right, sir. But for right now, you got to get that done. You got to get it set up. But the bottom line is, right now, the only thing what I just need to do is figure out the dates and the times, and I'll figure out what the math is. Because again, the law is I should start at the date of that you signed the first of the month after you signed that waiver, sir, and that's what I'm probably looking at. But for right now is if this is going to be your job going forward. This is what I'll see whether or not the court's going to use that. We're looking at a $2 difference between the hourly rate and you would sound like you were getting a lot of overtime, so I'm not going to consider that anyway. So the bottom line is, sir, I'm probably looking at the current rate because it's the current rate. All right, that's what I got to go with. I just need to know, is this something long term? Is this something short term? Are you out there looking for a new job? I'll let the state go down that path, and we'll figure this one out. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. So for your state income tax, do you file married filing separately?
Married but filed separately. Married but separately.
All right. So based off of what you're making currently at Hobby Lobby, the 2130, I'm giving you credit for state income tax and other things. Would you be in agreement with current child support of $465 per month starting whenever the judge thinks it should start?
Yes, sir.
Now, so that the job you had, the side job you had when you first moved to Oklahoma, how did you get fired, or how did you leave from that?
I didn't get fired. We got laid off. It was at Amazon. It was through Southland Appointment. It was a temp agency, just so I can have some money coming in. It was like a contract job.
Great.
It was something that I can get so I can work immediately.
All right. And
And it just expired. And
got it, sir. Got it. So do you want the court to not disclose your residential address in the order?
yes, I've had to move 3 times, and it's
All right, sir. So why do you want it to be not disclosed?
I mean,
Because-
Mr. Welch says she's got no problem with it, so I'm going to grant it.
Thank you.
All right. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, I think a 16-year-old can figure out how to let his dad know where he is. I mean, his mom or dad knows where he is. Okay, he's 16. He's not 6. So there we go. Anyway, sir, as far right now, you're working at Hobby Lobby. Is this a long-term position, sir? Is this you're not working there through a temp agency or anything like that? You're actually an employee. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I absolutely am.
Okay, and what's your title there, sir?
I'm a yard dock operator, just backing up trailers into the dock.
Okay. All right, then. And then is that what you've been normally doing? Is that what you did for Wilson Art?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, I was a loader, and we had to go get our trucks. Now I'm just a yard dog, so I like this job better.
Okay. All right, then. And how long have you been working for Hobby Lobby?
2 weeks, sir.
Okay.
And I provided a letter. I don't know if he submitted it to you.
Oh, well, no, he gave information on it. All right. All right. Any other questions of this witness this time, Mr. Welch?
And so how many other children besides Brandon Jr. do you have?
This is where it always really comes down to it. First of all, ma'am, Jessica, do I need to step in for you? I sort of could. Because I think, as everybody in the chat has said, I'm pulling this look off better than you are. First of all, I remember it. I've got myself the little, what was this called? Just the bit at the front, by pulling it from the back because I have such long hair. But she's got one straight up at the front. Secondly, how many kids do we think he has? And I'm just gonna warn you. He lies, or he tries to lie to the judge. He tries to confound them, bamboozle them, do all that kind of shit. Anyways, oh my God, Courtney is peach or salmon. That's your color, my dear. That is your color. Oh. Damn it, Jessica, ruined my post-workout look for now a 1999 to 2002 British wannabe look. Bruv.
That I'm paying for.
Just
I'm paying
how many other
for
children?
like 5 or
Just how many other children?
5. I have 5.
I don't know if I don't know if maybe it was just me, but I couldn't hear your response. Wi-Fi isn't so great, maybe with the storm. So what did you say? How many children do you have besides Brandon Jr.?
I have 6,
You have 6 children.
but one of my But one of my daughter passed away, so I have 5.
All right. So,
You know?
for the 5 children, uh, are they all below the age of 18?
Only 3 are under 18.
3 are under 18.
That's what my problem is, because I'm going to continue to be in the rears.
Got it, sir. Got it. And just to make sure you're not.
He's gonna be in the rears, guys. He's gonna be in the rears. He himself went out and made 6, 7 babies because the one girl died. May she rest in peace. Terrible tragedy. My apologies. And then you've got the kid of this case. There's nothing wrong with taking it in the rears, but you can't be playing the victim here, bro. I mean, come on. Come on. Some of these kids are young. You should have known better.
Counting Brandon Jr. in this.
No, sir.
All right. And are these children older or younger than Brandon Jr.?
They're younger. Brandon's the oldest out of my younger.
And Your Honor, so I thought there originally were 2 outside children.
Confirmed that he's been found to be their legal father, Mr. Welch. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. So are they biologically yours, or have you adopted those 3?
Biologically mine.
And do they live with you, or do you pay support for them?
Pay support.
For all 3 of them?
Yes, sir. 400, 300, and 300. And now I have to pay 800 for Jessica. That's more than half of my income. That's why I'm glad that I
got it, sir. Got it, sir. So, Your Honor, based off of that new information, state calculates his guideline current child support should be $429 per month. So, sir, would you be willing to pay that amount then?
Yes, sir. I want to take care of my kids.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, sir. The other 3 children, which state are they located in, and are you paying child support for them?
Texas.
All 3 of them, all 3 other children in Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, any other questions of either witness then, Mr. Welch?
Pass the witness, Your Honor. Or no further questions.
All right, at this time, folks, again, this one's not that hard. It's math, and it's not good math, but it's the math of this one called stuff. Mr. Seawood, you're so far behind on the current child support. I mean, on the unpaid child support. The interest alone is knocking you out, but obviously this is an older child, so once your child turns 18, you still have to pay the entire amount of child support going forward, plus the judgment on the arrears. So it is what it is, sir. I can't change that. So at this time, Mr. Welch, give me the math on the what would the arrearages? You said the arrearages as of the last day of October 2024 would be what again, please?
$24,894.18.
Okay, so the interest alone on that's $120 a month. So okay, so I'm looking at covering the interest, so 125. I know y'all like plus 50, but on this one, that's just not going to work. So keep going.
And then for the medical support arrears as of that same date, October 31st, 2024, it is $8,830.57.
Okay.
Those are rookie numbers, guys. Just
And
wait.
there's no dental, correct?
And no dental arrears, Your Honor.
All right, guys. All right, but like I said, the math on this one, but I'll go ahead and let each party give me a closing statement on what they request me to do here today. I'm looking at going ahead in order and modifying the child support. I'm going to start it as of the first day of November 2024 at the guideline amount based on what the father's current earnings are. I'm looking at going ahead and reducing the judgment, the unpaid child support, unpaid cash medical, and ordering repayment of those also starting the first day. But I'm gonna start those the first day of November also going forward, because again, we're looking at a judgment as of that last day of October. And that's the only thing before the court today is, folks, is child support repayment. So at this time, and non-disclosure. So at this time, I'm gonna start with you, Ms. Dillard. I'll let you make a closing statement to what you want the court to do here in this matter, and then I'll give Mr. Seawood the opportunity to make a closing statement also. Thank you.
Okay, it's fine, whatever you go with. But I know besides my son, he only has two other children under the age of 18, not three. So it's only two other, they're little girls. So unless there's a kid I don't know about.
All right, I'll let this part. He's still under oath, sir, and in a moment I'll let you name all three children who are under the age of 18. Thank you. Anything else, ma'am?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Seawood, closing statement, sir.
Yes, sir. I do have kids that I pay child support. They're Jalen and Malachi. I just got a letter from Jalen yesterday.
Okay, sir. Jalen.
Happy May, baby. Hold on. MB, I'm so glad you're here. This is the best part. This is the fucking best part of this whole hearing. So I'm going to go back 10 seconds. I want you to listen to what the judge said. I thought it was pretty clear. Sorry, I'm also trying to replicate her hairstyle. Also, it looks like I'm balding. I'm not. I'm graying. I have like white hair. Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Anyways, separate problem. The current problem that we're dealing with is this fucking deadbeat. Judge is sort of melting into his chair. Oh my god. Oh my god. No wonder teachers were like, stop playing with your hair when we were in the 2000s, because we were playing with our hair all the time. Anyways, so judge specifically asked, how many children do you have that are under the age of 18? Children. Let's see.
And in a moment, I'll let you name all three children who are under the age of 18. Thank you. Anything else, ma'am?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Seawood, closing statement, sir.
Yes, sir. I do have kids that I pay child support. They're Jalen and Malachi. I just got a letter from Jalen yesterday.
Okay, sir. Jalen and Malachi, and are they on the same child support order, or are those two separate children, sir?
Two separate children.
All right then, and what are their ages, please?
And Serenity and Aaliyah. Those are all kids that I'm paying child support for, sir. She
All right.
knows.
Okay, sir. Answer my question. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you said you had three other children under the age of 18, other than the child before this court. You say now you got four?
Jalen is an adult.
Okay.
But I'm still, sir. I just got a letter stating Hobby Lobby that it was going to send a letter for Jalen. So I'm still paying for all my kids, sir.
All right, sir. Go ahead and give me the names of the three children that you're saying that we should be looking at on child support for this one, who are younger than the child before this court, and who's before this court this time. Please give me that and give it to me slowly. Who's the oldest one? Then go to the next down, and then the following, and then the youngest. So who's the oldest child that you're paying child support that's not before this court, sir?
Malachi.
Okay, his last name.
Seawood.
All right. And how old is Malachi?
22.
Okay, Malachi doesn't count toward child support, sir. You're paying back child support on that child?
Yes, sir.
All right, that doesn't count, sir. I'm only looking at children you got to pay current child support for. Next child.
Jalen is the one I got the letter for yesterday.
Okay, and what's Jalen's last name?
Seawood.
All right, and how old is Jalen?
21.
So that's back child support also, sir?
Yes, sir. Current child support.
Not out of Texas, it's not, sir. That child.
Jalen graduated from high school, sir?
Yes, sir. But I'm still paying child support. I just received a letter in the mail.
Okay, sir, you're not paying child support. You're paying unpaid. You're repaying unpaid child support, sir. I'm only looking at children who are under the age of 18. You're still paying active child support for and haven't graduated from high school.
Oh,
So,
Serenity and Aaliyah.
okay, Serenity and Aaliyah. Okay, Serenity. How's Serenity?
She's 9.
All right then, and so and the other child.
Aaliyah is 2 years old.
Okay then. All right then, yes, sir. I can only give you credit for 2 children that you're paying current child support for. So I'll let the state redo the math on that. Thank you.
And yes, Your Honor. So 2 children outside would be $465 for
Okay.
current child support.
All right, here's the deal, sir. Again, you may still be paying child support, but you're paying unpaid child support. You're paying back child support you did not pay when the children were under the age of 18. In this case, also, you're going to be paying child support long after this child's over the age of 18 because of the arrearage is owed. But at least everything you pay now goes toward arrearage. At that point, we'll be going toward arrearages and not current child support. But again, I can only order child support. I can only give you credit for the 2 that are on current child support. All right, so, and the state saying the math on that is $465 a month. I'm looking at starting at the first day of November. I'm looking at the cash medical and the dental as testified to based on what mom actually pays for those, and one through the marketplace and the other through her job. And both those will start the first day of November. I'm looking at reducing to the arrears to child that you owe an unpaid child support. The interest of loan on the child support amount is $120 a month, sir. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this an interest only case because again, you got way too many obligations. But these are the circumstances. So I'm looking at going ahead and ordering a repayment of $125 on the child support and $45 a month on the cash medical. And unfortunately, I got to base those start making those payments due on the first day of December also, because that's the date started finishing up on the judgment as far as the what was owed based on the new child support amount started in the judgment of what the old child support was. So again, sir, that's your child support, that's your cash medical, that's your dental. And those are the repayment on the unpaid portions of those 2 items of child support and cash medical. Question, sir.
My back support total?
Give it to him again, Mr. Welch.
So Your Honor, so it was 125 for the child support arrears repayment. I couldn't catch the medical.
I only ordered the 85 repayment on the cash medical on child support. I know y'all tried to add the 50, but he's got way too many obligations. I'm just going with the interest on this one.
What does that mean? What
Total,
does that mean?
the total, sir, for those 2 would be 210.
Okay, no. I need to know. He needs to know the exact amount owed as of those 2 as of that date, Mr. Welch.
You want to know the arrears amounts?
Right.
All right. So as of October 31st, 2024, your child support arrears are $24,894.18.
Okay, stop. All right, sir, Mr. Seawood, the interest on that judgment is $120 a month. Texas has 6% in judgment interest on everything. So the interest alone is $120 a month on that item, and to keep that from going up another dime, I've got to charge at least 120. I'm looking at only charging you 125 because again, you've got so many other obligations, sir. So next amount on the unpaid cash medical, Mr. Welch.
So the arrears for the unpaid cash medical as that same date is $8,830.57.
All right, sir. Okay, I made a mistake on that one. So the interest alone on that one is $40 a month. So I'm going to go ahead and order repayment on that amount at $50 a month going forward, and that keeps it from going up also, sir. So that all 3 of those amounts, the new child support and the unpaid child support and the unpaid cash medical, they all start the first day of November 2025 at those 2024 at those amounts.
And Your Honor, the new cash medical and cash dental, current cash medical, cash dental are all starting that same day as well?
Yes. I don't think there's any way around that since we're doing judgments of those dates.
And then court costs, Your Honor.
All right, sir. You ever in the United States military?
No, sir.
Okay. Here's the deal, sir. You owe a lot of money. I'm not going to hit you with the county stuff, so I'll waive Bell County court costs.
Thank you.
I think I'm good, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna start with you, sir. Then I'm gonna go back to Ms. Dillard. Any other questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Dillard.
Yes, sir?
Any questions, sir? You got any questions, ma'am?
No.
All right. All right. That's the math of everything. I'll let the state prepare that order. Again, new child support, new cash medical, new dental starts November 1st, as of November 1st and going forward. As far as the old amount, the old judgments are made as of the 31st of October, and the repayments on those start the 1st of November also. And I'll go ahead and let the state prepare that order, and the state's going to send you both a copy of it. You're got the chance to review it and sign off on it. If you don't sign off on it, it will still be forwarded to me. And I will go, or do you need them back you want them back in breakout, or are they free to go?
I would like them back in breakout rooms so I can have them sign. But that's it.
All right. The state's going to put you back in breakout rooms and prepare the paperwork and let y'all review it one way or the other. And whether or not you want to sign it, that's left up to each of you. And at this time, the court's off the record. Thank you.
And that feels like when a teacher was like, oh, are you gonna approached by another teacher, and they were like, are you gonna do an early dismissal today? We can do early dismissal. And your bitch ass teacher looks at you, the class, and they're like, no, we'll be going full. I don't even know. I remember it. I was pretty good at shocking. Paisley, excellent at basically taking over a class and talking. I've told this story before. I had a teacher who was like, Paisley, if you don't stop talking, I'm going to make you come up to the front of this class and teach it. And I walked up to the front of the class and I started talking for about 15 minutes about it. And yeah. Turns out that's way easier for teachers to do. But the other part that I was thinking was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should just give up. This is it for today. But I love you guys so much. And so instead, I think what we'll do is watch us a follow-up to the case that we watched a couple months ago about the mom who went to Korea, then to Germany, and the dad is in Hawaii. So mom didn't show up to court last time, if you recall. And we have, in fact, got mom in court. Now, I might have sped this one up. Let's watch the Paisley of the past.
We'll continue that, but the hours will change.
Oh, okay. So apparently it's the middle one I gotta do first. 5:24. Sorry. So I filled up my computer again mid-recording of this. So I actually had to stop partway through.
And Your Honor,
Delete
I've got
some
one.
stuff.
Okay. What's the call, please?
It is a Coryell County case, Your Honor. DC 22 53639.
All right, that one's not up here.
You know the case, Judge.
Mix that with something.
They just the documents and financial report were emailed about
Okay.
8 minutes ago, so it might be a little while.
Okay, I got something here. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
It's your favorite case, Judge.
Oh, yeah. God, didn't, yeah. All right, so hopefully Mr. Glass has some data. We'll see.
And in Your Honor, the custodial parent, Ms. Johnson, is present.
Okay, well, that's the data I needed. All right, thank you.
I try and do that every day, Cellulite Yoga Pants, but then new court comes on and I get fucking distracted. It's terrible. It's a fucking cycle. It's a hoarding cycle. It's an actual hoarding.
Anyway, we're now on the
zone.
record, and this is Coryell County Calls number DC-2253,5639. This is in the interest of Graham minor child, non-custodial party being Robert Graham, custodial party being Heaven Johnson. And we reset this matter to confirm some and try to get Ms. Johnson back in the docket. My understanding she is present today. So at this time, I see that means everybody should be present. Counsel for Mr. Graham, and Mr. Graham's present, Ms. Johnson's present, Lyden's present. So I'll let the state start out and tell the court what the state is of the understanding of what we're trying to do here today. Obviously, this case is usually a special setting because of the detailed problems that the court had. I won't call it problems, the detailed decisions the court has to make. So at this time, I'll ask the state for that opening, then go to Mr. Tisdale, then to Mr. Glass, and we'll see what this is going to lead for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the state understands that at one point there was a final hearing in this case. So basically, Your Honor, now that we're all here, Ms. Johnson, Mr. Graham, Mr. Graham's attorney, Mr. Tisdale, and the attorney ad litem, Mr. Glass, that, Your Honor, you could do your rulings for it. And so we have a temporary order that was done back in February 20, signed back in February 29, 2024, but it reserved most of the things, like non-disclosure, retroactive support, conservatorship, court costs, and then also the child support findings, but not the current child support. Current child support is set at $650 each month beginning the first day of November 2023. That's about all I know, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, that's correct. One thing that the AG needs to do, unless the court does go ahead and enter a final order, the AG system automatically drops temporary orders after a year. My client has stated that he received a refund from the Office of the Attorney General for 2 months of child support just recently. When he tried to repay that directly through their website, it would not allow him to do so.
So much pride for Miss Vicky. Amazing job. We love it. I gotta switch the speed. I was like, why did you pause it? Oh yeah, the super slow-mo. Super slow-mo. Here we go. Mo. Who wants to come over for tacos, by the way? I always get accused of making too much food. Why don't we have a taco party one day? I just want to have a taco party outside with music and tacos.
So he's got a check for $1,300 that presumably belongs to mom from the AG's office because of the way their system is set up.
That's news to me. I never heard of that before. So because we've
It's
had
not-
temporary orders go on a lot longer than 12 months.
Yeah, after temporary orders have been on their system for 12 months, that just drops off their system and withholding and everything stops. And so not the first time we've run into that. My client just informed me of that this morning, that it had happened to him. But what the state has said as far as whether or not we've had a final hearing, I would agree with that. We did have a final hearing. The mother defaulted. I understand the court's hesitancy in entering a ruling, what we were asking for without her appearing. She is here today, so we would ask the court to go ahead and enter an order. And so that's kind of where we're at.
All right, Mr. Glass.
I have nothing to add, Your Honor. I've found the mother and she is present.
All right, Ms. Johnson, here's the deal. They're asking for you've missed several hearings. You hadn't shown up. Notice was sent to the proper channels, and now you're here today. And our understanding is that you're obviously no longer in Korea, but you're in Germany, and that's a back-to-back overseas assignment, which is kind of unusual. Well, I'm sorry, very unusual. And the father in this matter was asking me to give him custody based on the fact that you weren't cooperating and not showing up. So here's the deal, ma'am. It's your chance to give the court an opening statement, and because you're not an officer of the court, I'll have to swear you in and get that opening statement under oath, ma'am. So here's going to be your chance to tell the court what the heck's going on. So you need to mute yourself. If you got video, ma'am, you can turn it on. But again, coming from overseas, that might be problematic.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony or information you give this court today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then, ma'am, here's your chance.
Well, so I left Korea in November of last year. Once I got my orders to come to Germany, I did notify Mr. Graham that I was coming on Christmas to Germany. So I was telling him that, yes, Sunday is his visitation and we'll continue that, but the hours will change because of the hour difference from where he's at in Hawaii. So he's been getting his visits, but I went on orders for training last month. So it was 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks where phone calls got interrupted. And I didn't get notice of that. It was less than 2 weeks I got notice to go to training. So I went to training, came back and continued the calls with him. So my take is there is really no conversation when it comes to us, no.
So that's where it died, and I luckily noticed. So we might have to speed up again. I'll have to slow it.
We'll continue that, but the hours will change because of the hour difference from where he's at in Hawaii. So he's been getting his visits, but I went on orders.
Hey, baby, Christopher, I guess, whatever, this is what I got. This is what I got. I got the end, and that's where the bombshell begins to be dropped. Plus, I got all the questioning, you'll see. This is 2 lawyers against her on this.
For training last month. So it was 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks where phone calls got interrupted. And I didn't get notice of that. It was less than 2 weeks I got notice to go to training. So I went to training, came back and continued the calls with him. So my take is there is really no conversation when it comes to us, no communication. So I believe we need to be taking some type of parenting classes.
All right, ma'am, here's I had a hearing on the 10th day of okay, was that last year? Okay, so that was last year, never mind. 2024, 2024. Okay. All right, and when you said you got your orders?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You got your orders for Germany?
I received my orders 10 days prior to leaving Korea. So I will have to check on it because I believe I left.
The approximation will be fine for right now.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Approximation of that time, ma'am. You said it was you got that last year?
So last year I got the orders around I believe the 1st of November, if I'm not mistaken. And I was to clear and leave by, I believe, the 15th or less. I forget the date. I would have to go inside my documents.
All right, ma'am. Did you request of the United States military transfer to another foreign site, or did you do this, or is this something they did?
So my plan was, Your Honor, was to stay in Korea. I got approved to stay in.
So bad sign already, dodging that question. this doesn't add up. I really don't think they send families with 10 days notice to different countries. Also, I'm pretty sure the military has a paper trail about that kind of stuff. This is frustrating.
In Korea. And then I switched units. Once I switched units, I got put on order because I would have had to do the request all over again since I transferred units.
All right, I'll ask Mr. Glass, do you have any questions of Ms. Johnson?
Couple, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Ms. Johnson, you said something about missing, about your son missing phone calls with his father because you were doing some field training. Is that right?
Yes, I went to training. Yes, he missed maybe 5, I believe, calls, but I told him, like, I got last minute notice of the training. So once I was to leave, I messaged Mr. Graham and told him what was about to go on. And my plan was to continue the calls, but I had phone issues and I had to buy a new phone, and I could not get back into my email to download the what is it called? This app all over again. So I had communication problems.
Where did your son stay while you were training?
He stayed inside of our home, sir.
Was there an adult present?
Yes, sir.
Who was that?
It was a friend of the family I had to get help from. She flew here to assist to make sure my kids were able to still attend their schooling and keep everything normal.
Yeah. Do you refer to this person just as friend of the family, or does this person have a name?
She has a name. Addie Fosu is her name, sir.
Pardon, can you say it again?
Her name is Addie Fosu.
Does Addie Fosu have a phone?
She does. She has a German phone.
And did you talk to Addie Fosu about helping about getting your son and Mr. Graham their scheduled electronic visitation? Did you understand my question, ma'am?
Can you repeat it?
Why didn't you just have Ms. Fosu continue with the electronic communication?
I did not think about downloading the app on her phone.
The other question that I have is you were going to do back-to-back assignments in Korea, is that right?
Yes, I was supposed to stay in Korea for until my daughter finishes, well, until she graduates high school, sir.
Okay. And so that was approved, you requested that, and that was approved by your command. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Pass.
All right, ma'am, and how long is your tour supposed to be in Germany?
My tour here in Germany is going to be 3 years, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, then, Mr. Tisdale, questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. So, ma'am, when you changed units, was that voluntarily?
It was not, sir.
So you were ordered to change units?
Yes. So in my position, I was the only one. And when it comes to being stabilized in a country, they want you to get experience elsewhere instead of staying in the same area. And yeah, I switched to get a different position, sir.
So you voluntarily switched?
I did not, sir. They switched me because if you stabilize, well, since I stabilized, I switched positions. Like I had to do a switch of positions, which meant a switch in a unit to get, I guess, a different environment, if you would say.
Oh, I understand needing to switch to advance your career, but that was voluntary, wasn't it?
No, it was not voluntary, sir.
Okay. And
I,
so
I did not know.
so it is your testimony that even though you were on an overseas deployment or assignment to South Korea, that the Army ordered you to another 3-year assignment overseas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that normal? Is that go against normal process or procedure or regulations for overseas assignments for soldiers?
I'm unsure of that.
Okay, Paisley of the past stopped it, and then she started it again. Jesus Christ, Paisley. Creating so much work. How long is this?
For overseas assignments?
Oh, this is when I had to take the break and delete some things and then start it.
For soldiers?
I'm unsure of that, but I know it's when it comes to the Army, I can go with my MOS where we can go anywhere. So they'll just pick wherever you go.
All right, man. What is your MOS?
92 Alpha, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, and in plain English, that is.
Logistics, Your Honor.
All right, and that was your MOS the whole time, the entire time you're in Korea, and is MOS now.
In my entire career in the Army, yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may proceed with the next question, Mr. Tisdale.
Thank you, Your Honor. And ma'am, how old is your child now?
He is 3 years old, sir.
Okay. And when did you get notice? Well, you said that you found out 10 days before you were going to Germany?
Yes, I got the paperwork 10 days before. Like in my it's like a system online, your STP. I saw that I was, how can you say it? It said where I'm going next. And 10 days before leaving, they gave me paperwork saying that I was about to leave and I had to rush the process of getting everything done.
Okay. So it's your testimony the Army only gave you 10 days notice that you were moving across the world.
Well, I saw it proactive in the system saying where I was going. And I got my paperwork 10 days.
When did you
Okay, go ahead. How soon before you got the paperwork, ma'am, did you know where you were going?
Less than a month, Your Honor.
You may proceed with your next question, Mr. Tisdale.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you found out a month before, not 10 days.
Well, yes, I saw it in the system about a month. Like it was less, but I'm just gonna say a month, I guess.
Okay. And so I think you testified earlier that was around Christmas time is when you moved.
Christmas time is when I arrived in Germany, Your Honor, sir.
When did you leave Korea?
November, I think it was the 15th.
So you left Korea November 15th. Where did you go on November 15th?
I went to Thailand.
How long were you in Thailand?
Until Christmas.
You were in Thailand for over a month.
Yes, yes, sir.
And at this point, you knew you were going to Germany then?
Yes.
Okay.
I was on leave.
So you were on leave in Thailand for over a month?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. And were your children with you during that time?
Yes, sir.
So your oldest child that's in high school was not in high school in
She's-
Korea?
She is in middle school right now. She's in her last year of middle school.
Okay, so was she in school in November?
So up until, okay, the day before we left Korea is the day we withdrew. And she got an expedited transfer, which meant she had to complete all her schoolwork before leaving. So she was able to complete all assignments.
Okay. And when you got to Germany around Christmas time, you said that it was about a week or two later that you went on training.
I didn't go on training a week after. No, I did not go on. I went to training. Let me see March 1st is when I flew out.
Okay, so you were in Germany for about 3 months before you went to training.
Yeah, almost 3 months.
Okay, and there's nothing called training. During your training, you testified that this child stayed in his home with a friend of the family.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What email do you use for court notices?
Okay, let's not get
The
that
email
on.
I used.
Here, stop. We're on YouTube. I'll let y'all get that out after we get back in the break.
Sorry, Joe. I can rephrase the question.
Okay.
The email that you use for the notices for court, is it accessible through an online portal?
It is, sir.
Okay. Were you using your email from Christmas until your training in March?
Was I using? Yes.
Okay. And so did you receive the notices from the court stating that there were hearings?
I didn't see anything about hearings during the time of training.
Did you receive any kind of notices once you got to Germany about any kind of hearings, whether you were in training or not?
I received a notice a few days ago about this hearing.
But it's your testimony you didn't receive any notices, even though it's the same email.
No, I didn't, because the issue was my storage in Google was backdated, so nothing got pushed out.
And did you notify the court that you were having difficulties with your notifications or with your emails?
I did not.
Did you notify the court that your address had changed?
I did not. I notified Mr. Graham.
You notified him that you moved to Germany, but nothing else, correct?
About what, training?
You didn't give him an address, correct? You just told him you were moving to Germany, correct?
No, I didn't give him an address. I gave him the base.
Okay. So you did not notify him of your new address, correct?
I did not.
Okay.
Which space are you stationed in now, ma'am?
I'm in Baumholder, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, Mr. Welch.
No question from the state, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Glass.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, then, ma'am, I'll let you, in a narrative, tell the court anything else you think I need to know, based on, you see where we were going with this. We're trying, the information we were trying to get. Is there anything else you think we need to know, ma'am, that didn't come out, in your general, in this general questioning that we just did?
Well, as I stated before, I believe communication is bad all around. Even when it comes to the bare minimum, and we just don't talk. And I know it stems from everything that transpired since I left his house when our son was a month old. So my best bet is we probably gonna need some parenting classes, because of course this is the first time with us dealing with this kind of situation. Just like I'm just hearing that I've been handling financially everything by myself. So I'm just hearing that he had issues with anything. So that wasn't relayed to me until someone just said it here online. So I was wondering what was going on, but no one said anything. So, and I just left it alone and been handling, everything. Even coming back from training, I made sure to keep on with the calls and everything.
The child, I'm sorry, on the phone since y'all gotten the, since y'all got, since March of this year.
Since March?
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Mm,
He did, obviously there weren't not any when you were in training or you were out in training and the other person.
and I returned the evening of the 10th
10th of what?
of March. And then the Sundays after that, every Sunday he's been getting his visit.
Okay, so it's your testimony today that every Sunday after you returned in March 10th, Dad received his FaceTime visit student.
Hold on, first of all, I think that was a Creed frame, or a Pays Kitsch frame. I did see it say reconnecting. I haven't seen that in a long while. But what I also want to point out is that, didn't she say that she left for training March 1st? And then she's saying she returned March 5th? I thought it was a month of training. Does she mean April 5th that she returned? The math ain't mathing. And just wait, because the ad litem and the dad's lawyer here are going to unload.
App close, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Even though, things are bad and he hasn't been doing anything financially, I still made sure that he got his visits because it's not about us, it's about our child building that relationship with them. So.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, anything else of this witness at this time?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Graham, you there?
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, sir. Sir, you saw me swear first?
At this point, I probably started getting really worried that I wasn't going to catch it all, so we gotta slow it down again. Paisley of the past.
Your testimony gonna give this court today the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir. I only got one question. The mom just testified that you were getting your visits after the 10th of March on both Sundays. Is that correct, is that correct, sir?
Yes, I've been getting my visits right now, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Does anyone have a question of this witness?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
No, sir.
All right, guys. I'll listen to closing arguments and closing wishes at this time. And the judges might go back and listen to the last couple of hearings and double check some things because, docket sheets are not detailed notes. So I'll have to check a couple of things, but I'm probably looking at taking this one under a quick advisement. But at this time, I'll go ahead and let everyone give me a closing and tell me what they're requesting I do here going forward as far as this case is concerned. I've already set up a conservatorship and obviously visitation, and I know I may be asked for a change in that, but I want to get and we're already operating under a reduced amount of child support based on the travel factors that are involved in this case. So I'll go ahead and keep that in mind already, but I'll let everybody else make a closing statement this time. And Miss Johnson, I'll save you for last. So I'm gonna I'll start with the item and then Mr. Tisdale and then the state and then Ms. Johnson. Thank you. Mr. Glass.
Thank you, Your Honor.
sir. Thank you.
Judge, I think both these parents they're fine, they're suitable, they're protective. I don't believe that Ms. Johnson had to take the trip, the tour, the assignment to Germany. She admitted earlier that she extended in Korea voluntarily, and that then they used that send her to Germany. She would have been in Korea anyway had they not sent her to Germany because she volunteered to extend. That bothers me. It also bothers me with her with the lack of visitation. I think that's incredibly important in this case, and it's so easy to just say, well, I forgot. I didn't know that the babysitter didn't have this app. She had a German phone. She had. I don't believe any of that. I think that I don't have any problems with either parent, but it really bothers me when I see a child being used to get back at the other parent. And there's some things here that I just don't believe Ms. Johnson and parts of her testimony, Your Honor. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Adlito. All right, Mr. Closing.
That is scathing testimony to come from an ad litem. I don't know if you guys realize that, but that is insane. Insane critique. Extremely harsh. And that was not dad's lawyer. That's the child's lawyer. This is the child's lawyer. And he's right.
Statement, Mr. Tisdale.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Judge. Mom defaulted. It's mom's responsibility to make sure that her address and her email and all of that is working. I would agree with the ad litem that I don't believe her that the Army made her do 2 overseas tours in a row. I don't think that's true. They don't do that. And the fact that she's basically kept this 3-year-old now child from my client basically his entire life since this kid was 1 month old. She violated the standing order by leaving the jurisdiction of the court in the first place. My client, we had to hunt her down. Finally found her in Korea. And so I think that if mom is given custody of this kid, she's never going to let dad have this kid. Even during the pendency of this suit, this kid went for 5 weeks without seeing his dad. And it was only, I think once mom realized the child support had stopped because it's been 2 months, that all of a sudden she said, oh, okay, I'll let the dad talk to the kid again. I think that's where that came from, Judge. And so I think that even her own testimony has stated that this kid can be away from mom for extended periods of time. So I don't think changing custody is going to be an issue. This kid was with a random friend for over 30 days while she was on training. And so I think by putting him with dad, whom he knows, and both parties have testified that he does these electronic visits, and both parties have testified that those have been going well over the last few hearings. And so I don't see any reason why the court can't order that dad has custody of this child. I think that she defaulted, so I don't know that I don't know if this is a final hearing, Judge, or a hearing to enter order, or what at this point. But we certainly ask that dad be
It's part of the final hearing, Mr. Tisdale. I specifically gave Mr. Glass the opportunity to get mom in here before we finalize anything.
Yes, Judge.
I got that written down, so this is technically
Okay.
still part of the hearing, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Judge. So we are asking that dad be appointed primary, have the exclusive rights to designate the child's residence without geographic restriction, order mom to pay child support. And we need to figure out logistically how to get child from mom to dad. In the alternative, if the court decides that it's going to leave the child with primary with mom, I think dad needs to certainly at this point have extended summers and some possession periods. The ad litem has testified or stated that there's no issues with dad and being protective of this kid. My client has custody of another child that he testified to in the prior hearing. And so he can certainly raise a child and take care of a child. And so if the court does say that mom should be primary and my client should just have possession, I do think that he should have the entirety of the summer, every spring break, most of the holidays, that sort of thing, so that he can get as much time with his child as possible.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Anything in closing, Mr. Welch?
Your Honor, state's not going to take a position on,
Right.
efforts to get mom here.
Well, I do need to know how many. They said Dad's already gotten 2 checks back. Is there any more? That obviously, I don't think he probably got back the first of May yet. If they've taken that out, so is there anything out there still in the system, Mr. Welch?
So there's nothing that we're currently holding.
Okay, so yeah, 'cause I wouldn't think
Well,
May have not shown up yet. So yeah, okay,
but Your
yeah.
Honor, there is one thing. I mean, I can't say where it's from, Your Honor, because it's confidential. I can say we are holding $85. But our obligation end date, Your Honor, uh,
Oh,
was
sorry.
February 28th, 2025. So our temporary orders tend to last up to
Okay.
2 years.
Okay.
That's just
I
how
was
it.
surprised by that because again, I've had temporary orders last a long time, and believe me, I would have heard something about that a lot sooner than but I guess every now and then somebody in the system does something different, but that's okay. But anything else in closing, sir?
Um, no, Your Honor, I should note for the court though that unless there's been something else, the temporary order reserves conservatorship, so it hasn't been.
Yeah, I know. I read
Um,
that part.
and No, Your Honor. Just besides that, state does welcome final ruling.
All right, then, and ma'am, just for the purposes of us knowing everything, what is your current rank, please?
Sergeant, Your Honor.
Go ahead and do that as an E. I'm dealing with
E5, Your Honor.
non-people. All right, thank you. I know, but believe me, everybody out there doesn't know. And how many years have you been in the military, ma'am?
9 years, Your Honor.
9? Okay, thank you. You got that, Mr. Welch?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Johnson, I'll give you a chance. I already gave you an opportunity to say some stuff before. I do have one final question to both you and Mr. Graham. I know that's what he pronounces that, not Graham. The one question I have of both of you is, no matter what the circumstances, we're looking at folks, transfer, pick up, drop off, no matter how it goes. I'm looking at both of you having to make trips halfway around the world, at least one way each time, no matter what the circumstances are going forward, to pick up and drop off this child. And I'm gonna, is that going to be a major problem for you, ma'am?
It
It
is
is
not,
what it
Your
is.
Honor.
All right. Mr. Graham, is that going to be a problem for you, sir? If you gotta go pick your son up in Germany, I'll make mom come pick a child up at any end of visitation or whatever, or at the beginning of visitation. Is that a problem for you, sir?
Oh, Your Honor.
All right. Again, y'all are where you are, and everybody, and you, sir. My understanding is from the last hearing, you requested extension and why for your child to finish up school. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, I did request extension.
Has
It
that been
got
granted or
kicked back.
not?
It got kicked back. I'm thinking about if I need to submit it again or just let it go. As of right now, I'm just thinking
Okay, so
about
right,
just
if
letting it
they
go.
kicked it, where would you end up going if you were not going to be in Hawaii? Where were they? Do you know where you're going to be sent, sir?
I don't know yet, but I wouldn't know. And I'll probably know closer to the end of the year, but I don't know yet as of right
So
now.
it's not something that we'll find out in the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks, right, sir?
No, probably next couple months.
All right, but when is your stay supposed to end in Hawaii?
In August of 2026.
Okay, so oh wow, 2 years out. Okay, I mean a year out. I'm sorry, we're in 2025 now. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Again, like I said earlier, I wanted the opportunity to go back and listen to some the last hearing and the hearing before that, and go over my notes again. I'm going to go ahead, and nobody has to show up for this. Let's see. Today is the.
Ooh, I know when it is. It's not really soon. But I will be there. Don't you worry about it. And then what happens is Buddy was like, hey, can I say something? And then the guy's like, no, you fucking can't. Because, you have a lawyer, and then they go out into a breakout room. I'm pretty sure that's what happens here. If we just go here, let's see.
I'm not showing anything next. Okay, that's
Let me say.
yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
So the Army has a program through Space A where we get free flights from our duty station to wherever we're going. So we are able to get free flights. So through Rob from Mr. Graham's standpoint, he has to travel 4 hours from Hawaii to Rob Air Base, from Rob Air Base to over here in Germany, and that is free. Only thing he would have to pay for is hotel. And
Okay.
same with me going back the other way.
All right, then, ma'am. And so he would have to pay to go to that original drop off point, we'll call it the hub. You know, but he would have to pay to get to that, correct?
Pay to get to where, Your Honor?
You said he has to fly 4 hours
Rob,
to get the free flight.
no, so from where he's at to Rob Air Base is free. From Rob Air
Okay.
Base to Germany is free.
Okay. Well,
And
again, but leaving with the child, he would have to do commercial, correct?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Once he got the child, he would have to do a commercial airline.
He will not, Your Honor. Long as he have the the court paperwork, he is fine, Your Honor. If
Right,
they
but-
ever say anything, but they
bottom
share the
line is,
same name. So
I don't worry about the expense of it. I just worry about who's got to do it. And if both of y'all can do it for free, great. If both of you cost you money, then it is what it is. All right, thank you. Anything else you want to tell the court at this time, ma'am?
yes. So, one thing with me, I won't keep my son from his dad. So the only reason why we're even here is because I submitted the child support paperwork, and they even told me, "Are you sure? Because this will turn into a custody." I said, "Yes, I'm sure." So it's not anything about keeping him away, because if it was that, he didn't sign any birth certificate, he didn't sign the acknowledgement. I put myself in this position where to make sure that not only is he able to help out, he's able to see his son. So there's no keeping him away and all that kind of stuff. Life still has to go on. And yes, we doing the best we can. But like I said before, parenting plans and parenting classes is a must at this point.
All right, then. Thank you very much. That'll be your request.
Can I say something,
I'll
Your
probably
Honor?
be looking at doing that. I hate online parenting classes. They are, online. Yeah, right. That's like taking analytical geometry online. Yeah, it's not going to work well out in the long run, but it is what it is. But I will be ordering that for both parties going forward. But I will make that part of the order, ma'am.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
I'm sorry.
Can I say something?
No, sir, you got a lawyer. She's her own lawyer. Sorry. All right, if your lawyer, again, I told her she's allowed to make a closing. Your attorney has made one. And if y'all want to, okay, it's 1 o'clock already. If y'all want to get back in a room for a quick 5 minutes, Mr. Tisdale, and come back and make a further closing, I'll do that, but I'll hold it open for another 5 minutes. Okay, sir? Because obviously your client has something else he wants the court to consider as far as making a decision. But for right now, I'm looking at taking this under advisement and on at the 9 o'clock docket next week on the 15th. If I haven't sent out a written ruling already, I will go ahead and make a ruling on the record. No one has to show up. No lawyers, no ad litem's, no parties. I just need to go on the record and make the ruling, and y'all will get a copy of the or the oral ruling. Okay.
And Judge, I do just have one quick comment that probably needs to be ironed out is the amicus or ad litem's fees. I don't know if both of them are military.
I'm sorry. I normally don't order. I usually take care of that myself unless it's just something that's so egregious then I'm had to put the lady in jail for for 60 days because visitation wasn't happening. Yeah, that ad litem she had to pay for. Okay, but otherwise the ad litem's on me, Mr. Tisdale.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure.
Bro, what about if she took the kid out of the country against a standing order and then the ad litem had to track her down? That sounds pretty egregious.
Thank you, Judge.
Not a problem. Yeah, they're both in the military. I usually always waive calls from both military persons, and we'll do that. All right, then. Is there anything else then? Do you want the opportunity to talk to Mr. Graham before and come back for that last thing that he may want to bring up, sir?
No, they're fine. They're actually very good. We've got the date. I dealt with it. And that's it. That's okay. That's all. She was full of excuses, had fucking nothing of substance to say. Pissed me the fuck off. I'll say that. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I think that ad litem was excellent. And what a case. What a case. What a case. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for the support. I think John is going live tonight. One of our mods will throw it up into the chat. I don't know yet, Vicky. It'll depend on the court. It'll depend on the court. The next case is Paisley's gonna make tacos. I'm so hungry. I'll post a picture. Anyways, you guys, I love you so much. Seriously, remember that. I love you, and I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video.
Ways down and ready to ride.